Welcome to GTFO out of the USA. We're a couple of digital nomads who are traveling around South America trying to find the best places to live. For the last year or so, we've spent most of our time in Colombia. And although Colombia has some beautiful beaches of its own, like the famous Santa Marta and Parque Tayrona, we wanted to check out the Caribbean, so we headed down to the Dominican Republic. If you're thinking about traveling to the Dominican Republic in 2026, this video is for you. We'll be discussing how much a life in this Caribbean paradise would cost you, how it compares to other popular destinations like Mexico, and things to keep in mind before traveling to the Dominican Republic. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. For our destination, we picked Las Terrenas, located on the north side of the island in the Samana province. This area is known for its beautiful beaches and dramatic terrain, with green, jungle-covered mountains, beach coves, and coral reefs, which make for an unforgettable getaway and plenty of outdoor activities. We were here for about a month, from mid-November to mid-December. And while we did catch the tail end of the rainy season, with occasional afternoon showers, this is really a great time to visit Las Terrenas. To get here, we flew into the Santo Domingo International Airport. Private transport to Las Terrenas can cost well over $150. So we opted out for a 3-hour bus ride, which combined with the taxi only cost us about $40. The bus was air-conditioned and comfortable and got us there just fine.
Hi from Dominican Republic. We're here in Las Terrenas.
We've been here a month and have really enjoyed our stay here. And I wanted to kind of get your impressions about what you think about the Dominican Republic.
I think it's a beautiful Caribbean spot. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's a hidden gem, but on this side of the island, it's not as well known. It's not as popular as
not like Punta Cana.
Like Punta Cana. It's mostly actually interesting. I haven't really seen a lot of Americans. It's mostly French. There's a French expat community and
Take note.
And Italian.
Not a lot of Americans.
And actually, there's some great French grocery stores, Italian delis.
Yeah, we've really been enjoying like all the European bakeries, good wines and good prices.
Good sourdough bread.
Yeah, something we didn't expect coming to the Dominican Republic, but I would say the food has been really good, at least here. We're not staying in like an all-inclusive resort, although we did have one experience. We went there for a day and got to, see what it's like staying in one of those places. And I have to say, for me personally, I prefer it doing the way we do it, like staying in an Airbnb. We've got this beautiful complex here. You can tell with a pool. It's very safe, private security.
Less than a 5-minute walk to the beach.
Less than 5-minute walk to the beach. So we can go like every day, twice a day, compared to some other places we've been. Oh, what do you think? How does this place compare to like Tulum?
Well, I mean, this is a beautiful Caribbean. I mean, the waters are just magnificent, and color-wise, there's actually a reef, as you can see in the video. And it's the beach here, I would say, compared to Tulum, is a lot more accessible. And they're basically empty beaches this time of year in December, which is kind of
It's the start of the tourist season. I would say it probably picks up the second half of December, and they say that the busiest time of year is actually around Christmas and January, but November was pretty quiet, and so far here in December it's been pretty quiet too. So I love just being able to enjoy the whole beach to ourselves, pretty much.
Yeah, if you don't want a lot of crowds, there's a lot of adventure stuff to do. We rented some four-wheelers. Yeah. We went to these exquisite beaches that are hidden Yeah.
If you're into adventure like us, there are plenty of day trips you can take from Las Terrenas. We took one of such day tours with a local guide, which included transportation, food, and activities, all for a price of $60 per person. We spent the day riding four-wheelers through the beautiful mountains, swimming at private beaches, took a tour of the local coffee farm, and visited a typical Dominican village where you can buy local crafts and spices. Then we stopped for a lunch that featured grilled lobster tails and finished the day off with a horseback riding trek up to stunning waterfall, which we will show at the end of the video. Swimming at one of these remote beaches has got to be one of my favorite parts. There, you can just relax and take in the views of the lush green mountains of the Dominican Republic, swim in the warm turquoise waters of the Caribbean, and sip on a fresh coconut listening to the calming sound of the waves, uninterrupted by the hustle and noise of the city. Dominican Republic really has amazing beaches, amazing coastline. It stretches for like miles and miles. Out here in this area, I think they say like 30 kilometers of beach, and it's pristine. You see palm trees. So, unlike places that are a bit more developed like Tulum, Tulum still has a nice balance. There's like ecotourism, but a lot of those places are getting a lot of the jungle is being cut, and places are just getting overdeveloped. So yeah, I would say this is like a hidden gem.
And it's not expensive compared to other places. I would say this is it's pretty reasonable here.
Yeah. How would you say it compares to, let's say, we're located in Colombia, so we're already pretty spoiled. But how do you think that it compares to?
I think, and this is a tourist town, so I think it's comparable to...
Well, going out, I'll tell you this, like if you're planning to go out to restaurants every day, it's going to be pricey, right? Restaurants here, a meal, like an entree costs about $20, so, it's not that cheap.
Right.
But if you go to a grocery store, prices are very affordable. I would say it's even a little bit cheaper than Colombia, and that says a lot. A lot cheaper than the US, I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah, actually, amazing. The prices at this French store called El Lindo is really reasonable and great, artisanal yogurt and stuff like that. But, that's unique to this area.
Yeah, thanks to all of the French immigrants and the Italians, they bring their culture with them.
Yeah. And
so, high quality produce, amazing like deli, you can buy like pre-made products. We get steak here for like $5 a steak.
Filet mignon.
Filet mignon, so...
Yeah, for you US people, ouch.
Yeah. If you're wondering about the cost of living here in Las Terrenas, it's pretty affordable. You could get a room at a 3-star hotel starting from just $50 a night. A mid-range 4-star hotel will cost you about $120 to $200. And for an all-inclusive resort option, the prices start at just $250 a night, although during the high season, it might be closer to $500 or more. The town of Las Terrenas has a relaxed, laid-back vibe with mostly retirement-age Italian and French residents in addition to the local population. The place features a booming investment real estate market for those seeking vacation homes or rental income. A typical 2-bedroom Airbnb goes for around $1,800 to $2,500 per month. And although the internet says there's a growing presence of digital nomads and Gen Z travelers, we didn't feel like this would be a good digital nomad destination. due to a lack of infrastructure such as air-conditioned cafes, co-working spaces and gyms, and a relatively pricey rental market that seems to cater more to vacationers. Something to keep in mind, too, is that a visa-free entry only grants you 30 days in the Dominican Republic, and if you overstay the term, you would need to pay a $40 fine or more upon exiting the country. That being said, it's a perfect short-term vacation destination. Or you can come here and stay for a month like we did. The International Living magazine claims a couple can live here well on $2,500 a month. However, this article dates to 2019 pre-COVID era. So with the rampant inflation of the last few years, that figure is probably closer to $3,000 by now. Also, just like we mentioned, some places like Tulum that are popular, that are beautiful, are gaining a little bit out of...
Well, it's out of control, the prices.
Yeah, the prices are getting a little bit out of control. It costs like $35 just to get to the beach. You can't take public transportation. The beach is really far.
Unless you're staying on the beach and you're spending $400 a night at a hotel.
$400 during the off season.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. I mean, here Airbnbs are reasonable, so yeah, it's and I would consider coming back. We're heading back to Colombia, and we're going to be doing some content from these great eco tour type of locations,
yeah.
hot springs and places like that. So if you want, if you want to follow us, and if you want to stay inspired how to live a high quality of life
outside of the United States.
You don't have to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Then continue watching us. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.